Hello, welcome back to another episode of My Point of View, and today I will be discussing the South Park season premiere. Now, here's the thing about the South Park new season. This is the most bitchy, woke, anti-American, anti-Christian season I have ever seen of this show in my life. So, basically, they've made some changes to the show. So PC Principles, no longer a thing. He's apparently a background character now. Remember when he was allowed to be a character? I do. Apparently, they've decided Garrison is no longer going to be a character anymore, or at least not Trump anymore. And they've also apparently decided that the Texas Ten Commandments thing is not good, according to these writers. They wrote Jesus in this just so then they can complain about the Ten Commandments in the school of Texas, which again, they're in Colorado. That's happening in Texas. It's a pretty good distance in between. And then we have this whole subplot about how wokeness is how so apparently Cartman loves NPR now, apparently, just because NPR was in the news. Apparently South Park also wants you to know that they really are depressed that wokeness is gone. They really are. It's a depressing thing. And some people will say, oh, but you don't understand. They're making fun of the liberals that way. No, they're not. They're making fun of the conservatives by saying, if we only had wokeness, we'd have something to talk about, is how they're treating it. And it's like a memorial for wokeness. It really is. There's like a wokeness memorial that happened here. It really is. So then we get to probably the worst part of the show now. So there is something they did with Trump, okay? They apparently decided that now Trump is now Saddam Hussein. Why? Oh, so they can call him a dictator. That's all. And one more thing. Apparently he's also the most religious president because he's putting literal Christ in schools, but yet he's the most satanic president because he's in bed with Satan, literally. So it's like, which is it? Is he the most religious or is he not the most religious? Pick one, because it can't be both. And speaking of pick one can't be both, then later after everybody left, right, and center tell Trump how much they just don't like him and how much they don't agree with the policies he ran on, then all of a sudden you have this, all of a sudden at the end they decide, screw it, we're going to make an ad about how much we think so highly of Trump now that apparently we think that it's, so there's an end scene involving, it's a spoof of those ads of He Gets Us, the religious ones at the Super Bowl, that basically they've decided that now apparently the whole, that, oh, MAGA just sees Trump as Jesus, and then we have to watch an AI Trump take his shirt off and be naked and be rolling around in the dirt for some reason, because I don't know why. He's in his underwear, thank God, but it's like, why? Why does he have to be in his underwear rolling around? Yeah, that shows respect. And then, it's just like, they even bring Caroline Levitt into this just to remind you who they're talking about, which again, if you've seen the show, they basically photoshopped Trump's head on one of their low budget bodies. So basically they couldn't even be bothered to make a new design. They literally just snapshotted a couple pictures of him and then just put it on. AI can do better than this. I can do better than this. Anyone can do better than that animation, my gosh. Just literally go on Grok and you'll be able to animate better. So my whole thing involved in this show is just that I was really looking for, and then there's this, and then, sorry, one more thing, and then I'll get to the final thought. And then Discount Carney comes into the room and yells about how, oh, Trump's tariffs. Trump is hurting us with tariffs. If only Trump weren't hurting us with tariffs. Why are you giving us tariffs? It's like, hey, did you Google how the tariffs actually worked? Did you Google that? Did you Google how the tariffs worked? And again, to the Cartman point, when was the last time a conservative watched NPR to make fun of them? First off, why would you do that to yourself? And two, even if, let's take that off the table. How many kids listen to NPR? Really? How many kids listen to NPR? It's like, our kids need the NPR. It's like, no, they don't. What kid listens to NPR? Just because their liberal parents do doesn't mean they do. And here's the problem with this show. It feels like The Boys, the TV show on Amazon. It feels like The Boys in that it just kind of ignores the fact that it's supposed to be a show. The Boys ignores it's a superhero show, so that way it can bitch about Trump and MAGA and MTG and Laura Loomer, And this show's decided that it's no longer going to be satire or funny or any of that. They're just going to be bitchy now. They're just going to be bitchy blue sky trolls that just act like they know better. They know better. No one likes Trump, but yet the finale of the episode is everybody loves Trump so much that they're making a ad about how he's God. That's weird. That's even if you take what I just said out of it, doesn't that sound stupid? Doesn't that sound stupid? Even if you take the Trump thing out of it, doesn't that sound stupid? And then they're trying to say, oh, left, right, and center hate Trump. They just hate him so much. And it's like, speak for yourself, bro. I don't hate him. In fact, actually, what they're not realizing is, by pushing us to hate him, you're basically making us like him more. You're basically making us, you're basically making conservatives like him more because they're like, oh, good, it pisses off South Park. But not just that, also, is that we've apparently decided, the South Park guys have decided that we don't get a say. We don't get a say in America. We don't get a say. It's up to them. It's up to them how our political opinion is. How dare you look at that scene of Cartman yelling, put a chicken in, make her gay, and be like, yeah, how dare people make memes of Al Gore? How dare people make... Like, it's just like... It feels like they caved. They caved to the woke. PC Principal's not even allowed to be a thing anymore. He's actually so not himself that they made him a Christian now. Apparently. Yes. Yes, because if there's one character that I believe would be the Christian character, it would clearly be PC Principal. Clearly. The guy who screams at you if you didn't get the right gender is clearly going to be the guy that's super religious now. But don't worry, though. You have to get that by context clues, because it's not like he says it. It's not like he talks in any way. He talks like maybe 2 lines in this whole show, and then it's like... And it's such a solemn event. Even Cartman and the Butters kid want to kill themselves, apparently, because wokeness was such a thing, because wokeness was so incredible to them. Again, if you didn't know Trump was going to get rid of wokeness, put Christ in schools, and, and do the tariff and border stuff, then you weren't paying attention to his rallies, because he said it every day. And they're trying a little bit to milk the Colbert situation, which is not Trump's fault. And then they try to say, oh, but he just sues everybody. That's all he does. He just sues everybody. And it's like, yeah, he sues you when you try to call him a pedophile. You're correct. When you call him a dictator or a pedophile, he might sue you. You're right. That's how, it's called defamation for a reason. So, like, again, he's not a dictator, okay? I know these writers want you to think, oh, Trump's a dictator. Trump's a dictator. Hey, guess what, bros? If Trump were a dictator, you wouldn't be allowed to call him a dictator. That's just the truth. You wouldn't be allowed to do it. And I don't care that you guys got miffed because some right wingers were making memes of the streaming wars stuff, and now you're pissed about that, like the boys writers were. So you're like, oh well, we gotta take it up a notch with our Trump hate. You literally went backward. You were more forward thinking when you were doing Trump back then. When Garrison was Trump, at least he got some of the mannerisms down. At least he got the name calling and the attitude of you're the worst person, but yet you're going to be the greatest person if you work with me. Like they got that stuff down perfect. But for some reason, this season they've decided that he's just a cartoon character dictator. That's all he is. He's just going to dance around. He's literally in bed with Satan, but yet somehow he's the most religious president ever. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's just like, even the writers don't understand this. And then, like the last scene is basically Cartman and Butters wanting to kill themselves because wokeness isn't a thing anymore. That's literally what it is. We'd have no purpose because wokeness isn't a thing. I would have thought you guys would have celebrated. You guys seemed like you hated wokeness. You even said in an interview you hated wokeness. There was an interview they did at a convention where they said that they didn't really like all that, like, microaggression, bro. Like they didn't like all that PC stuff. That's why they made PC Principle. Because they didn't like all that PC stuff. But now it's like they've gotten a complete reboot of it. And good thing we gave you that billion. Good thing that the company gave you that billion, by the way. You got that billion because a lot of people were excited to see what you're going to do next. Enjoy losing the Christian and the conservative audience, by the way, bros, because I guarantee you they're not going to stay as much as there's going to be some that try to say, oh, there's no big deal. But I guarantee you most of them are going to leave or stop viewing you. You want to know why? Because we're tired of this. We're tired of your TDS. We're tired of your attitude that you just can't take any form of, like you can't take anything Trump's doing. And you know what? You guys come across like the crybabies here. You do. Oh, Trump did the NPR thing. It's not like he announced that anyway. The idea that, like, nobody likes what Trump's doing is stupid. It's a stupid take. Because it is. It's a stupid take. And it's like, for some reason, we have this attitude out there that America doesn't want this. America doesn't want this. It's like, yeah, we do, actually. That's the funny thing. We actually do want this. We want what the guy's doing. The problem is you guys don't. And you guys, who are clearly being shown to be in the minority here, between you yelling about Trump and how much of a dictator he is, and guess what? Colbert got fired recently, and the whole show's being gutted. It's not Trump's fault, but my gosh, the whole liberal party wants you to think it's Trump's fault. Anyway, the point I'm saying about this show is that it just feels, and it makes me not even be excited for anything else. Because I'm like, oh yeah, like when you saw the Elon joke or the Canada thing or the planes, I was like, oh good, maybe we'll see some good satire of like the DEI and plane, the whole DEI plane thing or the Canada thing, the whole Canada stuff happening, even down to trying to take the Statue of Liberty from us, or even or even like the Elon Musk Doge stuff. I was excited to see some good satire there. But the problem is you guys have went from funny satirists to we hate you and we want you to know it because you voted for Trump. Like we hate you. We hate you so much. And it's like, it's clear. It's obvious. And it's like, if you don't like this country so much, move to Canada. Do it. Move to Canada. Because I'm done. It's time. It's time that you just finally admit that maybe it's not always Trump that's the problem. Maybe the problem is you got, because again, I don't have a problem with Trump. I like what he's been doing. I know there's this whole thing with Epstein and stuff, but it's just like, I don't even believe it really. I don't believe that he's on the list. I know there's a thing about, oh, he's on the list. He's not on the list. And yeah, I bet you South Park writers are mad that you missed that one, didn't you? It's funny. These are the same people who did an interview and they said, we purposely didn't make Bush stupid because everybody was doing that and we want to be trailblazers in comedy or whatever. So therefore, we decided to make him a little more competent because we thought it was funnier. And now those same people are like, oh, everybody's doing the fact that Trump's a fascist Hitler. Oh, okay, well we'll do that too, because we have to cave to peer pressure, like we did with Al Gore and with the Tolkien situation that they tried to gaslight you with. Like that. There's a bunch of stuff that they've been doing that basically is like, we hate you and we want you to know it. But at least before, you kind of were straight down the middle when it came to your comedy. Like it was like you would make fun of left, you would make fun of right, and then you would go straight down the middle. The problem is that you guys have now decided that we're just going to skew as far left as possible, and we don't really care what you think. And that's going to be a problem for you. You're going to see your ratings go way down very soon. You're going to see it. You're going to see the ratings go down for this. You are. And then you got all this other stuff that's happening where it's like, like why? Why is Trump Saddam Hussein now? Why does that make any sense? How does that make any sense? It doesn't. It makes no sense at all. I'm very mad at I hate the new Trump. I do. I hate the character that they made Trump in this. I do. I hate him. I hate him so much. Because you want to know why I hate the character that they made Trump? Because he's Saddam Hussein. Why? Makes no sense. Anyway, so my point is that it's like, and by the way, get ready for all, and by the way, people on the internet listening to this, get ready for all the articles you're going to see about how, Trump, the South Park guys skewed Trump, man. Oh, they did it. Did you see how well they skewed him? Oh, did you see that great skewing that Trump took from those South Park guys? Oh my gosh, they're so amazing. I don't know what we would ever do without these guys, man. They're just so funny. Oh, you're going to hear all that from the leftists now. This is probably going to be the worst. And by the way, at the end, they don't switch. By the way, they don't switch back to Garrison like they should. They make a point to say that Garrison's not a thing anymore. We're stuck with him now. The whole season. I might like not even tune in to like some of the episodes. I might skip some of them. Like I might like watch a couple minutes of it and then be like, no. Because if this is going to be the thing all season now, where you're basically so pissy that Trump is president, and again, these are coming from the people who said that they weren't going to do this, that they weren't going to be doing this, that Trump has nothing to do with them, that they said they purposely pushed it off so they wouldn't have to deal with Trump. Well, here you are dealing with Trump. So anyway, this is just my, this is my point of view, and I thank you, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you later. Bye.